Hi folks, I'm Damon Wood here at Modern Music Studio in Centennial, Colorado. This is going to be a guitar lesson for acoustic and electric on the Pink Floyd song Dogs from the album Animals. So it's going to be broken into different sections. The first section is a rhythm part that gets played actually 6 times in a row. It has an instrumental, like opening sequence. Then there's 2 verses over the same chord progression. Then there's a guitar solo, another verse, and then the band goes into a halftime feel, while the rhythm guitar keeps doing the same thing, but is a little more choppy. Now there's a couple different things to think about with this. The first time there's a little fill that adds an extra chord. That doesn't get done when the verses have come in later, or even for the choppy part. So we'll talk about the first main chords that we get going with. So the first one is the E minor 9. So that comes from like an E minor chord, but we're going to do actually the E minor 7 part of it. It's in E minor 7/9 technically, they call it a minor 9. So this D right here on the second string, that's the E, that makes it an E minor 7. Adding this second fret here on the E string, that makes it an E minor 9. So that's our first chord. That's kind of how it gets going. Now the next chord is a C add 4. So that's like a C chord, but we have a pinky here on the 3rd fret of the D string. That is the 4th note of the C scale. That's why it's called a C add 4 now. So that's the second chord. The third chord here is going to be, this is like a B suspended second. But it's actually a B, it's also got the E in it because we have the 4/4/2 and open. So that open E would be like the suspended 4th of that chord. So it has the suspended 2nd and the suspended 4th together in that same chord. So, and that has the F sharp bass. So that's a B sus 2 and 4 with an F sharp bass. So if you thought it sounded exotic, that's why it's a pretty fancy chord. All right, the next one just goes down a half step with the same formation. 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 1st, open. That is a B flat, suspended 2nd, add sharp 4th. That E in there is beyond where the suspended 4th would be up there. So, once again, E minor 9, C add 4, B sus 2 and 4 with an F sharp bass, B flat sus 2, add sharp 4 with an F bass. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of it and then we'll do it slower, talk about the strum pattern. But this is a very important part of the song. It comes in later. It's many minutes of the song is this part, so it's very important. So here we go. Keeps going around in a circle like that. Okay, so you notice when I did this, so that right there changes the B sus 2 and 4 with the F sharp bass to a B, just a B sus 2 when you're doing that little chord. And that one doesn't have its add sharp 4 anymore. It just has the 2 and 4. So it's a B flat, 2 and 4 with an F bass. Okay, so let's go through that one more time. I'll do it a little bit slower. And let's look at the strum pattern a little bit. So it's like down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. All right, so let's try that. 2, 3, 4. let's move to the next chord. So that's that C add 4. 2, 3, 4. And the next chord, 3, 4. All right, so that's the first part. Here's part 2 of the acoustic rhythm for dogs. This one's gonna come out with a feel like. Okay, so that was the E minor 9 the first time, and we went to just the E minor there and a little fill at the end, so. So that's part of the, this is detuned down to a whole step down, so that when we play what looks like a E minor 9 chord, it's really a D minor 9 chord. So everything, this was really part of the D minor pentatonic scale, but it looks like E. So we do have that tuning thing going on where they tuned some of the guitars down, every string down a whole step. He does a guitar solo in standard tuning as well. So one more time, that new part, 3, 4. All right, and then we get into the part that has the triple lead. So that part starts on the D chord. 3, 4. Little D sus4 there, back to E minor. Two, 3, back to D, and back to E minor. E minor to the D to the C. We're gonna do 4 bars of C. G, F, G, F, so that's our E minor 9 again. We're going to do that 8 times. Going to C. That's D with a C bass. B major. All right, and then it keeps going with that, but that little riff there was D major, a B major chord. Just kind of walking up the thing. G bass with the same chord, F sharp bass, back to the E minor thing. So one more time, we got 3, 4. Back into that same feel. Doing 8 of these again. Kind of the low part of the chord, and then the high part of the chord. C. D with the C bass. 4 times this time though. B major. That little walk down. So after 4 times of that, the verse starts. It should be the 7th time of that E5 kind of build up, C chord, and then 3 C chords at the end of that, B, walk down. So let's see, at that point, that ends like what I have is the 2nd part of the rhythm. So if we move on to the 3rd part, that's where we get, after that riff there, they've got like a E5 power chord rhythm that's like, and then there's a 2nd part to that that's going like a, something like that, kind of with the other ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. So that's kind of like, and then he goes back to these chords 2 times. B sus there to the B, and then the riff. Now that's where the synthesizer part starts. So that's 8 minutes into the song. So we did all of the first 8 minutes on the acoustic guitar, detuned a whole step. The synth part goes for several minutes, like almost 4 minutes. And what happens then is we come back in with that original rhythm that we had. You notice we're not doing that high note thing, because that was only on the first time in the intro. You can kind of chop it up. So anyway, that's that part. Then we go back into that triple lead. So we've got that type of thing. To the D and E minor, 2, 3 to the D, back to E minor, E minor to the D, to the C, 4 bars of the C, G, F, G, F, E minor, stop. Hold that one out. And that's going to be 2 bars leading up into the outro of the song, which is a 2-part. This would be like on a distorted electric guitar, but these parts are like. So that's E, F sharp, and G. E, D, E, back to D. Now the lower part is. So that's B, D, E, D, B, A, B, A. If you put them together, you got. The last one Let's see. Bum, 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 C, B, a walk down, E minor. Song is over. It's all 17 minutes and 5 seconds of acoustic rhythm guitar. There you go.